Hello everyone, we are from Group 2 that consists of Miss Kilana Makatita, which is me as the secretary, Alfian Ashar as the chairman, Inringangi and Joshua Sambal. After this, we will be talking about Brunei Darussalam.
The history of Brunei is long and somewhat detailed despite its size. It is because Brunei is a part of the Southeast Asian countries that have similar and connected history with each other. Starting off with Brunei's independence, it is on 1st January 1984 and it was given by the British. During the 19th century, the Bruneian Empire began to decline. The Sultanate ceded Sarawak to James Brooke and installed him as White Raja, and it ceded Sabah to the British North Borneo Cartot Company. In 1888, Brunei became a British protectorate and was assigned a British resident as colonial manager in 1906. On 31st December 1983, a mass gathering was held on main mosques in all 4 of the districts of the country, and at midnight on 1st January 1984, the Proclamation of Independence was read by Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah. Second is the head of the country. Brunei's head of country is the Sultanate, and it is currently the Sultan Hassan al-Bolkiah, and have not changed ever since Brunei's independence. Brunei's Sultanate can be dated back since the 15th century, when parts of Borneo rebelled against the Majapahit and converted into Islam, thus transforming into the independent Sultanate of Brunei. Brunei became a Hashemite state when she allowed the Arab Emir of Mecca, Sharif Ali, to become her third Sultan. Scholars claim that the power of the Sultanate of Brunei was at its peak between the 15th and the 17th century, with its power extending from northern Borneo to the southern Philippines, and even in the northern Philippines, which Brunei incorporated via territorial acquisition. The flag. In Southeast Asia, yellow is traditionally the color of royalty, and the royal standards of Malaysia and Thailand, and the flag of Sarawak, along with the presidential flag of Indonesia, all use a yellow field as well. The crescent symbolizes Islam, the parasol symbolizes monarchy, and the hands at the side symbolize the benevolence of the government. The black and white stripes represent Brunei's chief ministers. The flag in its present form, except for the crest, has been in use since 1906 when Brunei became a British protectorate. The crest was superimposed in 1959 after the promulgation of the Constitution of 29th September 1959. The design was retained when the country gained full independence on 1st January 1984 as Brunei Darussalam. Lastly, the national anthem, Allah Peliharakan Sultan, or in English, God Bless the Sultan, is the national anthem of Brunei Darussalam. The anthem is sung in Malay, which is the national language of the country, and it was written by Pangeran Haji Muhammad Yusuf bin Pangeran Abdul Rahim, better known by his pen name Yura Halim, and composed by Haji Awang Besar bin Sagap in 1947. The song was adopted in 1951 as the national anthem of the British Protectorate of Brunei. It was adapted as the national anthem of Brunei Darussalam upon independence from the United Kingdom, and was sung as the national anthem of the independent state at the stroke of midnight, 1st January 1984.
After this, I will be talking about fun facts about Brunei Darussalam. First, Brunei is an absolute monarchy where the Sultan has the final say. So the Sultan of Brunei is the absolute monarch of the nation. He serves as the Prime Minister, Defense Minister, and Finance Minister of the country. He has the full executive authority and is also the head of the state. Number 2, Brunei means that's it. Yes, so according to local historiography, when first landing on Brunei, Awang Alak Betatar, the man who later founded the Sultanate of Brunei, exclaimed Baruna, which means that's it. The name of Brunei was derived from these two words. After establishing his dynasty in Brunei, Betatar was renamed as Sultan Muhammad Shah. The full name of the country is, however, Negara Brunei Darussalam. Here, Negara means country, and Darussalam means the abode of peace. Number 3, the Sultan of Brunei is the world's second longest reigning current monarch. Hassan al-Bolkiah, the current reigning monarch of Brunei, ascended the throne on October 5th, 1967. With over 50 years of rule, he is the world's second longest reigning current monarch, after Queen Elizabeth II of Britain. Number 4, the rainforests of Brunei are home to some of the world's rarest wildlife species. Although only a small country, Brunei has managed to conserve 70% of its rainforest despite the pressure of development. These forests are home to some of the most threatened species of flora and fauna. Number 5. Brunei has a monument celebrating the billionth barrel of oil produced. Oil is vital to the economy of Brunei. The production of crude oil and natural gas account for 90% of the country's economy. The onshore oil field at Seria in Brunei is one of the country's most important oil fields. In 1991, a monument called the Billionth Barrel Monument was built to celebrate the production of the Seria oil field billionth barrel of oil. Number 6. Brunei has some of the world's most picture-perfect mosques. Brunei's mosques are well known for their beauty and elegance. Traditional and futuristic elements are perfectly blended in the architecture of these mosques. For example, the Omar Ali Saifuddin Mosque uses a mixture of Mughal and Malay elements in its design. It also has carpets from Saudi Arabia and chandeliers from Britain. Number 7. Southeast Asia's biggest and most expensive amusement park is in Brunei. The Jerudong Park is an amusement park in Brunei that was established in 1994. It is located in Jerudong in the country's Brunei Muara district. A whopping $1 billion was spent in its construction, and it was funded by the country's government. Number 8. A country with a unique linguistic diversity. In Brunei, Malay is the official language, but it is not the only language that's spoken. In addition to Malay, the country's citizens also speak Bahasa Malay, English, and Chinese. This linguistic diversity is reflective of the country's rich cultural heritage and provides a unique opportunity for visitors to experience a variety of languages and cultures. Number 9. A tropical paradise with heavy rainfall. Brunei is a tropical paradise, boasting hot temperatures and high humidity year-round. With an average humidity of 93%, the air is thick and heavy, and the country experiences heavy rainfall throughout the year. Number 10. Strictly Muslim country prohibits alcohol consumption in public. So in Brunei, a strictly Muslim country, the sale and consumption of alcohol in public is strictly prohibited and punishable by severe penalties. This is in line with the country's religious beliefs and values and is strictly enforced by the government. Those found in violation of the law can face hefty fines, jail time, or even deportation. After this, we will be talking about languages. Bahasa Melayu or Malay is the official language of Brunei. However, English is the language of business and is widely spoken at all levels. Mandarin, Chinese dialects, and native Borneo languages are also spoken by various segments of the population. Bruneians are predominantly Malay, though significant Chinese, Indian, and indigenous Bornean population add to cultural makeup of Brunei. Right now, we will be talking about religions in Brunei Darussalam. First, about the largest religion in Brunei. Islam was popularized in Brunei in the 15th century when a Malay Muslim came to power in the region. The Sultan took every step to promote the religion, and soon most of the subjects of his kingdom adopted the religion. Even today, the Sultan of Brunei upholds the religious values of Islam. Many of the country rules have used the oil revenues to promote Islam, build grand mosques, and provide Hajj pilgrimage at subsidized rates to its citizens. In 1959, the constitution of the country came into force and made Islam the country's state religion. Both Protestants and Roman Catholics live in Brunei. 3 Roman Catholic parishes exist in the country. Most Buddhists in Brunei adhere to the Mahayana school of Buddhism. A small percentage of the population also practices Taoism, Confucianism, Islam, Hinduism, and some traditional religions. Next is about religious freedom in Brunei. Although the Constitution of Brunei does allow some degree of religious freedom to the non-Muslim religious community of the country, the government has imposed several restrictions on non-Islamic religious practices in the country. Although Islamic instruction are allowed to be taught in schools, teachings of other religions are not allowed. Muslims are discouraged from learning about other religions, but Islam is promoted in the country through numerous government policies. Interfaith marriages, especially between a Muslim and a non-Muslim, are not permitted in Brunei. The public celebration of non-Islamic festivals is banned by law. Any activity that attracts the attention of the Muslim citizens of the country toward other religions is strictly punishable by law. Apostasy is a crime that can lead to capital punishment. After this, we will see about religious beliefs in Brunei Darussalam according to World Atlas 2018. First is Islam, 78.8% population, followed by Christianity, 8.7% of population, followed by Buddhism, 7.8% population, and then others, 4.7% population. After this, we will be talking about Brunei Darussalam political system.
The government of Brunei Darussalam. Brunei is an absolute monarchy ruled by Sir Haji Hassanal Bolkiah, the Sultan and the supreme ruler of Brunei. Since an abortive uprising in 1962, Brunei has been governed by an absolute but benevolent monarchy under an underpinning political philosophy is Malay Muslim monarchy. Brunei is an independent sovereign sultanate that has been ruled by the same family for more than 600 years. Brunei adheres to a Malay Islamic monarchy belief system, which promotes moderate Islamic values within a monarchical political system. His Majesty Sultan Haji Hassanal, the supreme ruler of Brunei Darussalam, the 29th monarch in succession to the throne, is the Prime Minister as well as the Defense and Finance Minister and Head of Religion Brunei Darussalam. As Sultan, His Majesty is advised and assisted by 5 constitutional bodies, namely the Council of Succession, the Privy Council, Council of Cabinet Ministers, Religious Council, and the State Legislative Council. The State Legislative Council, which was convened in 2004, consists of cabinet ministers, local dignitaries, people who achieve distinctions in business, religion, and society, as well as the district representatives. And next is political system. The Legislative Council, with appointed seats and minimal powers, was reintroduced following 2004 constitutional amendments issued by the Sultan. Later, a small number of the Legislative Council seats were indirectly elected by the village leaders. The Legislative Council is comprised of 14 ex officio members that included the Prime Minister, His Majesty the Sultan of Brunei, the Senior Minister at Prime Minister's Office, the Crown Prince, the Minister of Foreign Affairs and Trade, Prince Muhammad, and 12 appointed cabinet ministers. The non-government appointed members included 7 dignitaries and 1 representatives each from the 4 districts: Brunei Muara, Tutong, Kuala Belait, and Temburong. Brunei's legal system is based on English common law, with an independent judiciary, a body of right common law judgment and status, and legislation enacted by the Sultan. Brunei has an arrangement with the United Kingdom, whereby United Kingdom judges are appointed as the judges for Brunei's High Court and Court of Appeal. Final appeal can be made to the Judicial Committee of the Privy Council in London in civil but not criminal cases. Brunei has also a separate system of Islamic courts that apply Sharia law in family and others matters involving Muslims. Brunei is one of the few countries left that still adopts an absolute monarchy system of government in the guise of a constitutional sultanate. The Sultan of Brunei is the most powerful man because he is both the head of the state and the head of government concurrently. He appoints and dismisses his ministers. The subjects of Brunei give reference to their Sultan at the highest level as they treat His Excellency's words as edicts. No one can say no or question the words of the Sultan, because it could become grounds for treason. The current Sultan, Sultan Hassanal Bolkiah, keeps 5 councils and 9 ministers to assist him in running the country. Next is education system. English Medium 1 in 1931. The growth in schools, both government and private, continued through World War II and beyond. The first 5-year plan for economic development, beginning in 1954, resulted in the creation of the Ministry of Education. In school education, the formal school system adopts the 1-6-3-2-2 pattern, representing a year of preschool, 6 years of primary education, 3 years of lower secondary, 2 years of upper secondary or vocational or technical education, and 2 years of pre-tertiary education. Education at the post-secondary and tertiary level is provided by technical and vocational training centers, colleges, institutes, and universities. There are currently 206 primary schools, 47 secondary schools, 9 technical or vocational or nursing centers, 1 higher institution, and 3 universities. So the levels, the pre-primary levels. This level, the children enter the educational system at the age of 5 and stay at the preschool level for 1 year. However, in non-government schools, children may enter preschool at the age of 3 for 3 years of preschool before proceeding to primary education. In primary level, the duration of this education is 6 years, primary 1 to primary 6. The primary level is divided into lower primary and upper primary. At the lower primary level, the medium of instruction is Malay language. Pupils at the upper primary level onwards follow the bilingual system of education. At the end of the upper primary education, pupils sit a public examination, the primary certificate of education. The subjects examined are Malay language, English language, mathematics, general paper, and science. In the secondary level, the education system in Brunei is modeled on the British system, with Brunei Cambridge GCEA levels being used to prepare students for entrance to university and other higher education institutions in Brunei Darussalam and overseas. Education at the secondary level is divided into lower secondary from 1 to 3rd and upper secondary from 4 to 5. The duration of lower secondary schooling is 3 years. At the end of the 3rd year, students sit for the lower secondary assessment examination as a non-terminal public examination. It assists the channeling of students to either vocational schools or an academic stream and serves as a national assessment for student achievement after 3 years of secondary education.
So, the relation between Indonesia and Brunei Darussalam in social societies. So, the cooperation relationship between Indonesia and Brunei is also established in the non-governmental way, with the establishment of Brunei Darussalam Indonesia Friendship Association, or they call Brudifa, on January 6, 2009. As the founder, Pengiran Dato Paduka Haji Jaludin bin Haji Mod Limbang, formerly Brunei Darussalam first ambassador to Indonesia in 1984 to 1986 period, was elected as the first chairman of Brudifa and the ambassador of Indonesia in Bandar Seri Begawan ex officio as Brudifa patron of organization. Brudifa was launched to public on March 24, 2009 at Bandar Seri Begawan, and also as a forum for gathering Indonesians in Brunei. There is Persatuan Masyarakat Indonesia, or abbreviated PERMAI, since November 20 in 1988 with the previous name Kerabat Nusantara, or known as KN. PERMAI is registered as a legal entity in Brunei on June 1st, 2006. And about education relation between Indonesia and Brunei Darussalam. So the bilateral relations between Indonesia and Brunei Darussalam in the field of education run well, among others through education cooperation such as visits between universities or colleges and the signing of cooperations between universities or colleges. When we're talking about education, there's also scholarship. So there are scholarships for Brunei Darussalam students who are interested in studying in Indonesia. Among others, the graduate programs of developing country partnership on scholarships, which is Dharma Siswa RI scholarship program, and the Indonesian Arts and Cultures scholarship programs. So otherwise, the government of Brunei Darussalam offers scholarship for Indonesian students to study at Brunei Darussalam's colleges at diploma, graduate, postgraduate, and also doctoral level. About registration is generally opened every year in December, and the selection is conducted by the Ministry of Foreign Affairs and Trade of Brunei Darussalam through the Brunei Embassy of friendly countries. Also, because it's talking about education, also student exchange. In here, in the field of student exchange cooperation between Indonesia and Brunei Darussalam, in 2015 there were 63 Brunei students studying in, of course, Indonesia, and a number of programs including community outreach and discovery year programs from University of Brunei Darussalam, or they call UBDE, outside study program Seri Begawan Religious Teachers University College, or KUPU-SB, and the ASEAN University Network, or AUN, AUN, student exchange program for University of Technology Brunei and University of Brunei Darussalam. The university or colleges in Indonesia are Pekalongan University, UIN Alauddin Makassar, Binus University, Bandung Institute of Technology, and also the last one is Erlangga University and Indonesia, University of Indonesia. Also, the relation between Indonesia and Brunei Darussalam also in sports. So, relationship in the field of youth and sport in 2015 ran well also, marked by visitation of big motorcycle clubs, of four-wheel drive vehicles and youth and Indonesian athletes to Brunei Darussalam and vice versa, including the first one is participation of the Sembas delegation during the 2015 Regatta Championship on the 1st March 2015. And the second one is Indonesia participation in the 2015 ITF Junior Tennis Championship on 6 to 14 March 2015, and also contingent participation of West Kalimantan, East Kalimantan, and North Kalimantan provinces during the 2015 Borneo Health Benefit Fair held by the Ministry of Health of Brunei Darussalam on 2015, 28 to 29 March. Also, there's a lot of participation. One of them, which is participation of Indonesian student athletes to compete in Asian School Games in 2015 on 21 to 29 November in 2015, in which Indonesians succeed in becoming the overall champion. Also, participation of Indonesians, big motorcycles, as I said before, clubs in the expeditions of Brotherhood Borneo Ride, Kuching International Bike Week, and Brunei Darussalam Motorcycle Association to West Kalimantan to participate in the 16th Borneo Island International Bike Festival, or they call BIIBF, in 2015. We will talking about the relation between Indonesia and Brunei Darussalam in defense and security. So, in the field of defense, the armed force of both countries have regularly conducted exercises together. So the heads of the armed force visited each other and sent each other personnel for military courses or training. And in recent years, Indonesian National Armed Forces TNI middle officers have participated in the Executive Development Program or EDP leadership course organized by the Brunei Ministry of Defense. Another middle officer participated in the first staff and command college held by Royal Brunei Armed Forces or ABDB. Meanwhile, the first TNI officer had attended the junior staff course or JSC held by the ABDB Training Institute since 2007. Also, meanwhile, ABDB officers have followed military education and training in Indonesia, like participating in the regular education of Air Force Command and Staff School of Indonesian National Armed Force, or they call SESCO TNI AD, and other regular military education, of course, in Indonesia. Also, the last part is, in conclusion, about this topic is Brunei Darussalam is a sovereign state located on the north coast of the island of Borneo in Southeast Asia. And the country is ruled by an absolute monarchy with the Sultan as the head of state and head of government. The government of Brunei Darussalam has been stable and consistent with a focus on maintaining the country's Islamic values and traditional way of life. Religion plays a significant role in Brunei Darussalam politics, with Islam being the official state religion, and the government has implemented a strict interpretation of Islamic law, including the introduction of Sharia law in 2014. This has been met with criticism from human rights groups who have expressed concern about the impact on the country's minority populations. Brunei Darussalam's culture is heavily influenced by Islamic tradition, with custom and tradition that reflects the country's rich history and heritage. Also, the people of Brunei Darussalam are known for their hospitality and respect for tradition, with a strong emphasis on family and community. Relations between Brunei Darussalam and Indonesia have been generally cordial, with both countries sharing cultural, linguistic, and historical ties. Also, Indonesia has expressed support, of course, for Brunei Darussalam's sovereignty and territorial integrity, and the two countries have cooperated on issues such as trade and also security. So, in conclusion, Brunei Darussalam government and politics are characterized by an absolute monarchy with a focus on maintaining Islamic values and traditional customs. The country culture is heavily influenced by Islamic tradition, and its relation with Indonesia are generally positive. And also some references that we got from official website, and also some journals for this topic.